centralized middlemen. You guys that bought bags of some token that's associated with a centralized middleman that takes people's keys from them, you're part of the problem. We have decentralized finance now, where you can get yield without losing your keys. Use it. Stop screwing up. Stop creating giant honeypots that hackers and governments attack. Hackers and governments and embezzlers love it when you put all your keys in one centralized stupid place. Stop being part of the problem. Not your keys, not your coins. Take your keys and put them in your own possession. If you want to earn yield, you can do that with your keys in your own possession. Stop giving your keys to middlemen and stop promoting middlemen that take people's keys. Period. And if I see you show that shit in here again, you will be banned. Fools. You know those newspaper headlines? XXX millions of dollars hacked. You guys are the reason that that happens. Where will the current bull market take us in terms of prices of blue chips? Nobody knows. Billionaires are buying. Giant companies are buying. Hedge funds are buying. And nobody knows when the last one of those guys has filled up their bag. So it's not knowable. It's just not. There are things you can know. There are things you can't. When those whales run out of economic energy, you can't know. And what new whales might enter, those things, you can't know. It's just not knowable. So enjoy the bull market and be okay with the uncertainty. What happens to the T shares when all the average stakes ending? That doesn't make any sense. Your question is unintelligible. The Hex logo was so deliberate. Heard Richard Hurt talk about it one day in an interview and thought the thought behind it impressed me. Thanks, man. Yeah, it represents exponential growth up and to the right. So, pretty cool. You're the man, Richard. Thank you. What's the minimum hex for long-term insurance and growth? There's no minimum. I mean, look, at some point, the minimum is like it costs more fees than you get in interest. So you don't want to have too small a stake because then you pay it all in minor fees, right? Like, might cost $6 or $8 to end a 365-day stake now, maybe. So if your stake yields less than that, then you're poor. You probably shouldn't have stakes that small. Life is not fair. At some point, if you only have $1, you're not going to be able to make yield on Ethereum because it costs more than $1 to do stuff on it. So I hope one day you have a job that allows you to invest more than a single dollar. I mean, even if you had a bank account, you kind of got to occasionally take the bus to the bank, and there's a cost associated. Richard, you working out? Not as much as I should. I'm getting back on it. If BTC uses miners for security, what does Hex use? ETH miners. It's proof of work, just like Bitcoin, but it's more honest. It's more distributed. You know, you can mine it with a GPU instead of a ASIC miner that you begged for from some centralized ASIC dealer in some weird country. So Ethereum mining is more honest than Bitcoin mining. Do you accept former XRP Army people? Yes. Come on aboard, guys. Sorry about what happened to you. We got something amazing here that could save you. How long have I been streaming? Not very long. 42 minutes. Feels like I just started. You know me, man. I'll stream for 6-8 hours. Like, I like streaming. Arbiters balance out V1 and V1 and V2 prices? Yeah, but they don't because there's so little. There's like 6,300 ETH in V2 and there's like 7 ETH in V1. So there's just no money to be made there arbing those two things. So the prices are kind of similar, but V2 price is the real price currently. So what would happen if I locked 1,000 worth of hex for 10 years right now? Well, you'd be getting the lowest share price possible because it only goes up forever. So the share price in hex terms only increases forever. Its USD price, can float up and down based on the USD value. So I can't tell you what your returns will be because no one knows what the price will be then. And no one even knows what the interest rate will be because it's dependent on how many people are staking. So you can't really make in no speculative instrument that I am aware of that offers the opportunity that cryptocurrencies do, can you actually predict with great certainty exactly how much you'll have at some future date. If you told people in 2010 that Bitcoin would go from a penny to $28,900, they would think you were very silly. But that's the reality. That's what it really did. So you can't it's just how it is. Oh, I love being able to predict stuff. It's so cool. Like just knowing that when things launch, they dump like hell. It's really useful. And I told people about that in Hex, and I published the data. I was like, hey guys, look, Hex has a similar launch mechanism to this other project, and look what that other project did. And here's the Excel sheet, and here's the data, and here's where I got it from. Maybe launch systems like this tend to just die for the first couple months. And yes, apparently that's what they do. Because you have like a year of pent-up demand releasing on a day, and then all the buyers bought, and then what's left? Just sellers, right? That's the beautiful thing about Hex, one of many, is that if you have a blow-off top and an exponential run-up without dips, then you don't shake out weak hands. And so if weak hands don't have the opportunity to sell lower, and then instead they sell higher, it amplifies the dip because the guys that wanted to sell sold higher instead of lower. So they sucked more energy out of the system. So if you have volatility that shakes out weak hands occasionally, it lets you go higher because the weak hands got shaken out lower. And then you're left with more economic energy in the system, which is what literally sets the price in Uniswap. So the price in Uniswap is literally the ratio of of asset one versus asset two. So in Hex, the most liquid pair by far is Ethereum versus Hex, which is why when Ethereum goes up, since they're interchangeable, Hex goes up too. It's just beautiful. And then usually, so like Hex is great because when you have a chart that's almost always going up, COVID happened, Hex went up. Bull market happened, Hex went up. So you're like, yeah, price goes up, Hex goes up. Price goes down, Hex goes up. It's just awesome. Like it's it's a miracle. I can't believe it's worked so well. I mean, you design something, you dream the dream, you give it your absolute best, and then it works. And you're like, wow, that's amazing. It's really amazing. I don't think people understand how high the Hex price can go. Hex can easily pass Bitcoin's market cap. Easily. It is so much easier to onboard people to Hex than Bitcoin. Hey, do you want to make interest? Okay, Hex can do that. You get Bitcoin? Hey, do I make interest on my Bitcoin? No, sorry, man. 1 Bitcoin equal 1 Bitcoin. No interest for you. Oh, you want interest? Go pick up pennies in front of freight trains and let someone else hold your keys and beg and hope and pray they ever give you your money back. And they very often do not. So good. So good. I mean, you go to bitcoin.com, they try and sell you something that's, similar to Bitcoin, but not Bitcoin. You go to hex.com, that's talking about Hex, right? If you start a project, you don't even have the .com, I don't know, man. It's like, get the .com if you can. It's awesome. Better logo, better community, better price chart, better features, better security, less bugs, less attack surface. You're just like better miners. Oh my God. What's left? It's so good. It's so good. Mm. By the way, I'm not drinking anymore. I've had enough alcohol. I'm bored of that shit. No mas. I suggest you don't drink as well. Drinking sucks. Hex is one of the few good things in 2020. Could be, man. Could be. Once Hex reaches number one at CoinMarketCap, what will be next? Well, I mean, people should stop using comparison sites. What do you care what other stuff is doing? It's all garbage. Who cares about that stuff? It's just noise. Like, what do you care about even the market cap? Can you sell? Can you put bid orders and ask orders? Can you buy and sell the market cap chart? No. You can only buy and sell the price chart? Well, then you should care about price, because price can make you money, but market cap can't make you money. So market cap's a vanity metric, and looking at other coins is how people get wrecked. I mean, there are websites that make money on you losing money. You see all these ads for eToro? They make money by you losing money. You see all these ads for trading platforms? They make money by you losing money.